what we've been reporting on for months, and it is that Elon Musk is an untreated drug addict, completely out of control, chainsawing everything with reckless abandon. Put up the headline. On the campaign trail, Elon Musk juggled drugs and family drama. As Mr. Musk entered President Trump's orbit, his private life grew increasingly tumultuous, and his drug use was more intense than previously known. And here's what I have to say. When you look at his behavior when he was doing toe touches and acting crazy on the stage, going, "I'm dark MAGA," and Trump's droning on about Hannibal Lecter, it was very obvious to me that these people were on something or suffering from some sort of mental collapse. And then when Trump was inaugurated, Elon Musk's eyes were rolling in the back of his head. And this should have been above the fold everywhere. And on the same day, that evening, is when he does his Sig Heils. So welcome to reporting on the absolute train wreck that is Elon Musk, the New York Times. Thank you for joining.
Right. It amazes me, all of these headlines that come out, and it's like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, this is the most obvious thing in history. And you just look at Elon Musk's behavior, like you said, it's just deplorable. He's got the chainsaw. But more importantly, he went in and he's harming veterans. He's harming poor people. And he has no conscience. So he's either a sociopath, some kind of drug addict, or a malignant narcissist, or all of the above, which I think he's definitely all of the above.
Okay, now here's an excerpt from this article. Pop this up, Kelly. Mr. Musk's drug consumption went well beyond occasional use. He told people he was taking so much ketamine, a powerful anesthetic, that it was affecting his bladder, a known effect of chronic use. He took ecstasy and psychedelic mushrooms, and he traveled with a daily medication box that held about 20 pills, including ones with the markings of the stimulant Adderall, according to a photo of the box and people who have seen it. And here's what I have to say about this. Drug addiction is very serious. It is a very serious medical condition, and it affects pretty much everybody. You either have a family member, a friend, somebody close to you that suffered from drug addiction. People that are in the spiral of addiction should make zero decisions, period, much less decisions about the United States of America and the federal government. And this leans itself to Trump and his ability to use judgment, and all of the people surrounding Trump. All of these people are drunk on money and power, and Elon Musk is high on drugs, and we are an absolute laughingstock of the international stage. The American brand is completely damaged, and this is what authoritarians do. They surround themselves with people who are the exception to the rules, and they're flagrant about it. And the Trump administration says all the time, "Oh, we do everything out in the open." Right. We're transparent. It's like, yes, that's exactly what they do. They break the law and thumb their nose at all of the rules in front of everybody to say, we're different. All the rules apply to all of you, but they don't apply to us. And this is what authoritarians do. But if the Democrats had a drug addict running around with a chainsaw doing Sig Heils, it would be above the fold nonstop until there were proceedings, drug tests, investigations. But again, everybody plays with two different rule books here. The Republicans have taken the rule book, ripped it up, crammed it down everybody's throats, and the Democrats and the media just cover Trump like this is normal. And it's not normal. I mean, we're 5-6 months in, and now they're saying this when it's been obvious on video this entire time.
It cracks me up because it's no shock to me that as soon as Elon Musk is out of the Doge realm, they're all eating each other. They're all talking shit on him. Where were you when all of this was happening? You knew this was happening. If this was going on during the campaign trail, why weren't you talking about it then? Because you don't give a shit. And you know Trump bought and paid for Musk. This is a classic example of people being enabled. The Trump administration has been enabled by the Republican Congress, by the MAGA voter. Elon Musk bought and paid for Trump. And so his orbit, now they're all eating each other. Of course they are. But they have allowed this to happen, knowing what he's doing to the poorest of people, federal government, veterans, and nobody gives a shit.
No, they like it.
They like it.
The cruelty is their brand. The worship of money and power and finding certain citizens more exceptional than others because they think it's cool to get away with stuff, because they think it's cool to have somebody run around with a chainsaw and wear his dark MAGA hat and do toe touches and act like an imbecile. All right, here's another excerpt from the same article. The White House did not respond to questions about whether it had asked Mr. Musk to take drug tests. As a large government contractor, his aerospace firm, SpaceX, must maintain a drug-free workforce and administers random drug tests to its employees. But Mr. Musk has received advanced warning of the tests, according to people close to the process. SpaceX did not respond to questions about those warnings. Again, the rules that apply to everybody else don't apply to them, and this is what authoritarians do. The reason why he is doing all of these pardons transparently, the transparent part of him doing it is intentional. It is to say, I am going to break the laws for certain people and you have to follow along. It's an intimidation tactic.
That's such an interesting point, which I didn't realize. I just thought it was just out and out corruption. But you're right. It's like I can thwart all the rules. But I look at this and I think Elon Musk is, he's taken away all regulations on SpaceX. So he's shooting rockets into the air, fucked up on pills and drugs and Adderall. And then he's running Tesla into the ground. At what point do the shareholders go to him and say, you have to step down? Like, this is not a well man.
I think that that's kind of happening right now where you see this ambiguity. He's like, oh, I'm not in Doge anymore. And then he's running back over to Tesla. But I think he has his hands in both. And I believe that he and Trump have a mutually assured destruction scheme, because Musk just called out Trump for his, quote, big, beautiful piece of shit bill. I can't even say the whole thing.
I know, it makes me sick.
But Trump, typically, if somebody criticized something that he did, he goes bananas. And Trump hasn't really responded to Musk's criticism of the bill, which is interesting, which goes to our theory that we've had from the jump, that these two did a lot of stuff together and they have mutually assured destruction. And we just have to sit back with our popcorn. But here's another excerpt from this article. And this is at the heart of this whole thing, in my opinion. Mr. Musk was also facing federal investigations into his businesses. Regulators were looking into crashes of Tesla's self-driving cars and allegations of racism at its factories, among other complaints. There are at least half a dozen initiatives of significance to take me down, he wrote in a text message to someone close to him last May. Musk goes on to say, the Biden administration views me as the number 2 threat after Trump. I can't be president, but I can help Trump defeat Biden, and I will, he added. He publicly endorsed Mr. Trump in July. So this is absolute corruption. He is being investigated. His cars are pieces of shit. I was just in a few Tesla Ubers the other day in New York. You can't even hardly fasten the seatbelts. They're wobbly. They feel like you're riding in aluminum foil. So, I mean, just from the jump, the car's not that great. There's all of these investigations into the safety where Tesla has covered it up. Tesla's also cooking the books on like warranty, making the miles advance. And as a surprise to no one, he's a racist, and racism runs rampantly in his companies. And it's just important to remind everybody the reason he's a billionaire, MAGA, is because of government subsidies. You have a man from South Africa who came over here illegally on a shady visa, and per MAGA's train of thought, we don't want our taxpayer money paying for this or paying for that or paying for this. You're paying for a drug addict to take drugs. So according to your own logic, he should be deported.
Well, there's one significant piece of that puzzle that Elon Musk is not included in, and he's not brown or black. He looks white to MAGA, and so as long as they're being cruel to black and brown people, they prefer that. They don't love cruelty to white people. I mean, they'll tolerate it.
It's amazing to me, though, how they're like real America and we're, for Americans. And then you have Rupert Murdoch, who is just completely infected half of the country with this horrible virus, which is, I don't want to critically think, and I'm going to feast on my cruelty and all of my hate all day, every day. And then they also promote Musk because in that movement, they think if somebody's rich, they're smart. And they're so propagandized by the whole thing. And the fact that, Donald Trump calls for drug dealers to be executed for the death penalty. And here you have Musk surrounded by a bunch of people dealing drugs to him, flying around on Air Force One, sleeping in the White House, running around with his kid. I mean, I don't know why Grimes isn't doing an immediate, I want full custody of my child because he's on drugs. I mean, that's, my husband struggled from drug addiction, and that was something that I did. You're not going to be around the kids until you pass drug tests. But people with money are always able to skirt the system. All right. And our last excerpt from the article, put this up. Mr. Musk was by then sounding an alarm that the world's declining birth rates would lead to the end of civilization, publicly encouraging people to have children and donating $10 million to a research initiative on population growth. Privately, he was spending time with Simone and Malcolm Collins, prominent figures in the emerging pro-natalist movement, and urging his wealthy friends to have as many children as possible. He believed the world needed more intelligent people, according to people aware of the conversations. Okay, so here's MAGA logic. Family values.
Oh, right.
Execute drug dealers. We don't like anybody sucking off the government. We don't like people that are not born on American soil. Also, MAGA values. Elon Musk is great. Elon Musk was born in South Africa. Elon Musk is a welfare queen. Elon Musk is a shitty dad of the highest order. He has been married 3 times, divorced. And then when you get into this article, there's all kinds of baby mama drama beyond what you know from Twitter. So he's like engaged with one woman, and they're having a child. And then she finds out that somebody that works at his Neuralink company has just given birth to twins via in vitro. So this man has got petri dishes all across the world with his sperm in it, because on top of doing all the drugs, he thinks, I need to have 5,000 kids.
He thinks he's superior, so his genetics obviously need to flourish. Okay, here's the part that doesn't make sense to me. I have heard him go on and on about more smart people need to have more babies. Okay. So I'm assuming he thinks he's brilliant and smart, but he's hitting up women on Twitter that he doesn't even know and saying, will you have my baby? So I'm like, are you not vetting these people at all for being smart? I mean, you're just hitting people up on Twitter.
You proved your argument. He's not smart.
No, I know, but at least
it's not a smart decision. I mean, he's proving his lack of intelligence and mental stability by the fact that he's shopping for baby mamas on Twitter. So before you even go down the rabbit hole, he's already proven that he is not a stable person, or as they like to say in the MAGA world, a stable genius. Nobody with all of their faculties would think, I'm going to shop for baby mamas with all the trolls on my white supremacist website. So even from the jump, you can't even go down the rabbit hole that there's any intelligence there. He is in self-preservation mode at all times. Donald Trump is in self-preservation mode at all times. They colluded together so that they could, preserve each of them from suffering consequences from these investigations into them. Trump would have ended up in prison, and it sounds like Musk would have too. And the rate at which and the speed at which he went in and shut down these companies and had 19-year-olds get a hold of the software, which I think probably destroyed evidence. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
Because there's no reason that in all of these companies that he fired the most people, all of 16 were investigating him the most. And so there's a mutually assured destruction by 2 dipshits that made a deal with each other's personal devil, and to keep them both out of prison. And they have millions of followers in their personality cult thanks to another person not born in the United States of America, Rupert Murdoch, who has poisoned the well of so many Americans of average intelligence that fall prey to propaganda because they can't critically think, and they don't want to critically think because it's too painful for them to do so. All right, that's all we have for today. Please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to